Hi, welcome to episode 3 of my video blog series. I am dubbing this Keep Your Eye on the Ball. I think it's been a catchy title, and I think it works. So we're going to keep going on with that. I'm getting away from the full diagnostic breakdowns of the week before, and I'll try to keep these a little bit shorter and go over a play call from the previous week that I really liked, and that I can diagram and kind of explain what was going on a little bit with that, and then also get my keys to the game for the upcoming opponent. This will be posting the same day as the Kansas City game, so I do apologize for getting those out kind of on top of each other. But it is a short week with the Thursday night game. So without further ado, let's jump in. So the play that I'll be diagramming today is actually from the first quarter of the loss against the Jets. This was on 2nd and 8. And this was, like I said, in the first quarter when the game was still 3-0 Jets. So basically, the Broncos come out in a 2-by-2 set. Basically, this means they're going to have 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. They do have the early showing of that this is going to be just a heavy set where they can run out of. But they also do bring Adkins in motion to maybe give the appearance that they could pass out of that, because they will have 2 pass catchers on this side, along with McLaughlin, who is a good pass catcher himself. So there are so many subtleties that go into offensive football and it's more than just finding good plays that work. But this is actually one of those times where I think as Sean Payton did a really good job of disguising the run, and then the players did just an excellent job of executing. So at the start of the play, Wilson tells Adkins to come over in motion. When the offense calls for motion, it can basically be used to see if this is going to be a zone or if they're going to be running against a man. Because nobody moved, and because the Jets like to keep Sauce Gardner on one side of the field, I was pretty sure that they were going to stay in zone, which was good. The Jets also came back in a traditional nickel defense with 3 defensive backs, 2 linebackers, and 2 safeties. So once Adkins comes over, he doesn't set. They basically call the snap and have him going full speed in motion to form what's called a kick-out block on the last guy on the line, which would be Gardner. Now, obviously, Adkins is tight end, Gardner's a cornerback, so that's a good matchup. Plus, Sauce isn't a very good tackler. From this point, you have the left tackle Bowles and the left guard Powers basically sealing off their side of the field. Cushenberry actually does a lot of heavy lifting on this play and did a great job in getting a block on their defensive tackle and then getting up to the second level to actually pick off this linebacker here. From here, McGlinchey actually pulls out like he's going to pull, but then he cracks back to take off any backside pursuit. And then Troutman is able to get this last linebacker here. From there, it springs McLaughlin. He's off to the races. If the safeties hadn't been playing so deep on this play, I think he might have scored. And for a minute there, I thought he scored while I was in the stands. So just from a execution standpoint, perfectly pulled off. And it was one of the high points of the game. In the contest, we ended up losing. But there you go. So my keys for tomorrow's matchup with Kansas City, and I am not going to lie, it looks bleak. But it's division rival, and even though we haven't beaten the Chiefs, we have played them close the last 4 contests out. So here's what I think the Broncos will need to do in order to maybe escaping Arrowhead with a win tomorrow. On offense, I've been preaching this week in and week out. They need to stay consistent running the ball. I know that Kansas City can score points in bunches, and it's very important not to let this turn into a track meet. I know there's also the tendency to try to limit the time that Mahomes is on the field, but they need to be aggressive with running the ball. Hopefully, Javonte Williams is back tomorrow. If not, I think they're still in capable hands with McLaughlin and Pirine. I would actually like seeing Pirine get more touches than McLaughlin. I think McLaughlin should be the change of pace back, and Pirine should be the lead back. But I mean, they've had that transposed, and I'm not 100% sure why. But, I mean, it's worked because McLaughlin is playing very well right now. On defense, you need to create a pass rush. You also need to, for the pass rushers, they need to do two things. One, they need to keep Mahomes in the pocket. Do not let him get around where he can improvise and pull off crazy stuff that he always does. This also means creating pressure and not taking straight past to him, so that way, again, that he can't improvise and beat you that way. Also, let Travis Kelce do this damage between the 20s, and then make sure that he is fully 1,000% accounted for in the red zone, because that is also where I see defenses fall asleep because they start watching the ball and start missing assignments. They also need to throw different combinations at him. I don't know that we have one guy in the secondary that's going to shadow him all game. It would be nice if we had a Caden Stearns for that, because that would be a good matchup for us. But I obviously, with him being hurt and us not being kind of thin in the secondary anyway, I don't know that they're going to have too many answers for that, but they can play sound assignment football if they do that. If they do those two things and they execute them well, I could see where they come out of this with a win. Maybe it's wishful thinking on my part, but hey, fingers crossed. So that wraps up this week's vlog. If you like it, give it a view. Even better, if you like it even more, give it a thumbs up or a comment. If you hate it, give it a thumbs down, or put in the comments, hey, you suck, dude. Here's what I would do better. I'll be getting a piece out before the weekend. I'm actually going to be doing a 3-part series of basically failures of the franchise that have got us to this point of being 1-4 and potentially facing a very difficult rebuild here in the next couple of seasons. So I'll be putting that out. I'll be starting with ownership. So be on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, keep your eye on the ball, and I'll see you next time.